Hey, it's Andrew with JANCguns again. If you like our videos, as always, show us by subscribing and let us know what you think. Today I'm going to be talking about different types of 308 ammo that I have and have experience with, and I've shot this ammo in combinations or individual of the following guns. I have a bolt action. I have an old Remington 788. I've got a PTR 91, and I've also got a Springfield Armory M1A with it's the loaded version with the match barrel, the match trigger, and the match sights. So I'm going to be running through each box. All this ammo, by the way, is non-corrosive. Be running through each box, talking about accuracy, reliability, quality, the purpose of the ammo, the price and value, and just a general overview of it and my personal opinion of it and what I think. And we want to hear what you think of it too, if you have experiences with it as well. So I'll just point out what each of these are and then talk about them. So right here we just have some Barnuals Russian hunting ammo, 145 grain soft point. Here we've got some Czech. This is just S&B. It looks like it's military surplus. It's got sealed primers, but we're not totally sure. If anybody has any experience with this stuff or knows more about it, please let us know. Right here we have some Lithuanian. This is some Portuguese surplus. This is some Pakistani surplus right here. This is some Lake City LR118, 175 grain. This stuff's a little more expensive, obviously. And then right down here is some more expensive stuff as well. This is some 168 grain Sierra Match King ammo in federal brass. And then here we have some 175 grain Sierra Match King ammo also in federal brass. And then this stuff right here I haven't actually shot before. It's Cody's. He shot it and done pretty well with it. It's Hornady Superformance. It's about $1.50 a round. And it's just screaming in velocity because of the bullet type that they use. Actually, it's supposed to be 1 to 200 feet per second faster than a standard 308 with no additional recoil. And then here we just have some standard federal soft point hunting ammo. Okay, so we'll start down here. We'll talk about this this Czech stuff right here. It's a little bit cheaper. I picked this up at a gun show for about 35 cents a round. As far as accuracy, it hasn't been bad. It does open up a little bit. I haven't really sat there and bench rested it at 100-200 yards, but I will say it's not like this federal stuff, and it's definitely not this Lithuanian stuff, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I have had some problems. Here, I'll kind of get a zoom in there on the primer. I have had some problems with this stuff just as far as the different guns I've shot it out of. I've had some hang fires out of my bolt action Remington 788, and I've also had a couple duds that just didn't fire at all. The hang fires, usually it was about 3 to 4 seconds of a delay. And a couple of the duds, I sat there and waited for a minute and they didn't go off, and pulled them out. They had good primer strikes, and for whatever reason they just did not go off. I haven't shot them out of my PTR. I've shot them out of the M1A without a single problem. They go off every time. And again, Cody and I have theorized that this is because of the harder primers that these have. They do have sealed primers, and that the bolt action may just have a lighter firing pin than that M1A. But if anybody else has experience with this one way or another, let us know about it. As far as the quality of this, it's not bad. It's a little bit lower quality. The cases don't appear like the cases don't appear that they've been washed. But it's not bad. For the price I paid, it's not bad. As far as purpose for this stuff, I would just say this is kind of plinking ammo, storage ammo, that sort of thing. It's not something I'm going to go out and try and shoot a really tight group at a couple hundred yards with. That's not what this ammo would be for. Overall, though, I don't think it's bad. Especially for the price I paid for it. And I also thought to myself, well, it could just be something wrong with the gun, with the bolt gun, and well, it could be a light primer strike, but I don't really think anything's wrong with the gun because I've never ever had another hang fire with any other type of ammunition I've shot out of that gun. That's never happened with any other ammo. So we'll move on here to the Lithuanian stuff. Now this stuff I have absolutely nothing bad to say about. This is outstanding ammunition. When they manufacture this stuff, it's actually white glove manufactured, so it's never been touched by human hands until you buy it and handle it. But here, I'll kind of let you see the primers there, what that looks like. But this stuff is really outstanding. I really like this ammo. Accuracy has got to be one of the biggest reasons I like it. It's out of an M1A at 100 yards from a bench rest. You know, I'm getting under an inch every time. It's that good. It's close to match grade. As far as military surplus goes, it's a little bit more expensive. It's about 60 cents a round, but I really, if you have the money and are so inclined and you see it at a gun show, I would definitely pick some up. It's really good stuff. Purpose, again, you know, that's kind of up to the individual a little bit, but in my opinion, you know, this is kind of I would use this kind of for storage, or I mean, I would go out there with this stuff at 200-300 yards and see how good of a group I could get. I mean, it's that accurate, it's that good. So I would say for price and value, you know, this stuff, for being military surplus, it's pretty accurate. It's not $1 a round like this Federal Sierra Match King stuff, or $1.50 a round like this Lake City LR118. It's definitely a better value in terms of that. I haven't done an accuracy comparison, but overall this is really good stuff. We'll move on to this Portuguese stuff right here. Let you kind of see the box. This is really good stuff as well. I've only shot this out of an M1A. I've never shot it out of my bolt gun or out of my PTR. It's only kind of been out of my M1A. Accuracy, not quite on par with the Lithuanian, but really not bad. Pretty respectable out there at about 100 yards. Let you see the primer there. You can see that it's got the sealant around there. The Portuguese stuff, I've heard a lot of people say it's about like the German stuff, which I actually don't have any experience with, and if anybody does, we'd love to hear about that stuff. As far as reliability, never had a problem, never had a hang fire, never had a dud. So in that category, I'd say it's pretty good. For purpose, again, kind of up to the individual. For me, kind of just for plinking, storage. For decent accuracy, it's really not bad stuff. I have actually seen somebody shoot this stuff in a match before. Back when I was in the military, I've seen somebody shooting Portuguese out of an M1A at a match. So it can't be bad stuff. Overall, I like it. The price, value, I think I paid, I think it was like 38 or 40 cents a round for this stuff, so it really wasn't bad. We'll move on here to the Pakistani stuff. Now, you know, a lot of people rip on Indian, Pakistani surplus ammo. Oh, they're cheap. You know, look at the state of their industrial complex. How can they possibly make good ammo? Well, when you look at this, your initial impression might cause you to want to confirm that. Here's just kind of a view of the primer. The cases are obviously a little bit rougher, not washed. You can see on this particular round there's some dings right here around where the bullet seats. The bullet is just, it's not bad. It's just, it's mass produced, and it's not that Lithuanian stuff or the Portuguese stuff for sure. It is not that. But I'll tell you, you know, having shot it out of the PTR, the Remington 7088, and my M1A, I've never had a problem with it in terms of reliability. I've never had a hang fire or dud or anything like that. But I will tell you, as far as accuracy, it does open up a little bit. You know, the groups I'm getting with this are, you know, a couple inches at 100 yards. So in that category, it does open up a little bit, but it's still respectable for what it is. I think I paid about 35 cents a round for this stuff a couple years ago at a gun show. So for price value, again, you know, it's kind of like the Czech stuff. It's in terms of price, but I would say it's a little more reliable than the Czech stuff, given my experience with the hang fires from the Czech ammo. So You know, again, it's not that Lithuanian stuff. It's certainly not the Federal or the Lake City, but for what it is and for the price you pay for it, it isn't terrible. So we'll move on here to the, we'll just talk real quickly about this Barnuals Russian ammo here. This stuff is obviously going to be a little bit cheaper. The Russian ammo tends to be, appears to have that lacquer coating around the case. Get a look at the primer there. It's got the sealant around there, so it's kind of a more military style. They are soft points. I believe these are 145 grain. From what I understand, if anybody has any info to add to this or correct me about this, but from what I understand, when you shoot steel-cased ammo, you don't want to immediately shoot brass-cased ammo right after that, because the steel, when you fire it, doesn't expand, and that allows a lot of the gases to blow back around the case and build up in the chamber. And then when you fire brass in there and it expands, that gives you a potential for getting that stuck in there. And again, if anybody has anything to add about that, we'd love to hear it. We're always looking to learn, because we don't know everything, and we like to learn stuff we didn't know before. I've only shot this stuff kind of for plinking out of my Remington 788. It isn't bad. I'm getting an inch, 2-inch groups at, I wouldn't say an inch, I'd say about 2-inch groups at 100 yards with it. And part of that could just be me. I don't consider myself a terrible shot, but I also don't consider myself an expert. So overall, the stuff's not bad. I think I paid, I don't know, I think $7 or $8 a box for that stuff a couple years ago. So for price, for just going out and plinking, I think it's pretty good. So now we'll move on to the more expensive 308 or 7.62 that we have here. This is 168 grain Sierra Match King boat tail hollow point bullets loaded into Federal brass. And this stuff, having shot it before in a couple matches, it is just incredibly accurate. If you look at the bullet there, you can see, yep, you can see that it is a hollow point, and you look at the primer there. This stuff is about $1 a round, so it's obviously more expensive, but I mean, if you're going out there and shooting at 300, 400, 500 yards and beyond, this is the ammo you want if you can afford it. As far as accuracy, it's match grade ammo. Of course, it's accurate. Quality, same thing. High quality. Purpose, I would say, I'm not going to go out there with my PTR and bump fire 20 rounds of this stuff. That's ridiculous. This is I'm going to go out there and bench rest or shoot prone or sitting and try and get as good of a group as I can with this stuff. This isn't just plinking ammo, unless you're just so rich that it doesn't matter. This ammo over here is similar. It's just a little bit of a heavier bullet. This is the 175 grain. I would say basically the same stuff about this ammo. It's accurate. Interestingly enough, the 175 grains, I think I just picked these up at Cabela's for about $1 a round. See if that focuses there. It does have the military style sealant around the primer. But I would say basically the same thing, for match or tight group purposes. That's what you want it for. It's not plinking ammo. Cody has shot a couple boxes of this Hornady Superformance stuff. This particular stuff is 150 grain. And on the box here it says the muzzle velocity is supposed to be 3,000 feet per second. And I'm not sure what barrel length they tested that out of. I'm sure that info would be available on the Hornady website. But from what I've read, I have read quite a bit about this stuff, and it's supposed to be amazing. And 3,000 feet per second out of a 308 is screaming to begin with. So if you look at, here's what the round actually looks like right here. It is definitely a unique bullet design. It looks a lot different from that boat tail hollow point or any of that other ammo I showed you. And you are supposed to be able to hunt with this stuff as well. So you can see it does have the ballistic tip on there. So there's one of those Lake City LR118s right there. You can compare them side by side and see that there is in fact a pretty significant difference in bullet design. So this stuff, again, about $1.50 a round. I've seen this stuff for about 30 bucks a box, so not cheap. But if you're going out there and if you're going hunting or something like that, I would say that's, you know, price isn't as big of a concern because you're probably only buying a box of it. And if you're trying to shoot a really tight group, it's a good choice as well. I've shot this stuff before, just out of my Remington 7088, this Federal 150 grain soft point. I've seen it on sale at Cabela's before for about 16 bucks a box, which for hunting ammo is an absolute steal. And I've gone out there with that Remington 788 and shot, you know, inch and a half groups with it at 100 yards, which I'm sure somebody with a better gun and who is a little bit better shot than me as well could probably do a little bit better than that. You know, again, I don't consider myself the best shot in the world, not the worst either, but I think somebody could probably do better with it. There's kind of look at the what the bullet looks like. It's a soft point, and just get a little bit of a look at the primer there. And it's just loaded into a standard Federal case like any other. It's good stuff as well. And again, you know, for about 60-70 cents a round for hunting ammo, I've never seen hunting ammo cheaper than that. That's a really good deal as far as I'm concerned, except for this Barnuals stuff. I've seen that's pretty cheap, but that stuff's a little bit harder to find. That Federal stuff is going to be everywhere. So, you know, we've got 7 or 8 different types of ammo sitting out here. I've kind of talked about the accuracy, reliability, quality, purpose, price, and over my personal opinion of all of them. And I would say none of them overall are bad. You know, some of them are definitely probably better for certain purposes. You know, the Czech stuff isn't something you're going to go and shoot in a match probably. But the Lake City or the Sierra Match King bullets aren't something you're going to go out there and just plink with because it's really expensive. If anybody else has shot any of this ammo out of the same or different guns, we'd love to hear your experiences as well. And if you know anything about any of this ammo that we haven't mentioned, we'd like to know that as well. Well, I will also pose the question about South African ammo. You know, I've read a lot of bad stuff about the South African. You know, I've read some okay stuff. I've read, you know, if you shoot it, you know, just make sure you clean your gun extra well because it's really, really dirty stuff. They use really dirty primers and propellants. I've heard a lot of people say, you know, don't shoot them out of a PTR, but it's okay out of an FAL and any combination thereof. So I just don't know. If anybody has experience with that stuff, let us know. And any other ammo. I'm also interested in German surplus ammo. I'd like to get my hands on that and test some of that as well. We try to be as thorough as we can in our videos, so, you know, again, if you have any comments or suggestions to add, please feel free to do so. And as always, subscribe to our videos if you like them. And thanks for tuning in. This has been Andrew with JANCguns.